Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. What are some of the devious things that the covert narcissist will engage in? What are they capable of? What is hidden behind all their silence? The covert narcissist has a very sly, smooth, calculated method of keeping much of their thoughts, feelings, emotions, and really abilities hidden underneath the surface. They appear extremely calm, unaffected by things in their environment to an extreme. They seem outwardly very placid, like nothing disturbs them. They have absolutely nothing that stresses them out. And that is actually cause for a concern, and I feel that is one of the key indicators and hallmarks of a covert narcissist is they are too calm, cool, and collected. They really do not respond with urgency to much of anything that you need, that the kids need, that might be required. They have an extreme form of aloofness, meaning it's like Fort Knox, basically, underneath their exterior, which again, with a narcissist, is a mask. And we're used to a narcissist like a really showboaty kind of person. Maybe like your Kanye West, your Kim Kardashian, your Britney Spears. You know, some people who have an outward show and persona, what we call a persona, a facade or a mask, and then underneath, they generally possess a lot of ulterior motives, agendas, and things like that. And a lot of people feel that they're very easy to spot and maybe, easily understood and maybe more easily accepted. This person's a narcissist and I'm not in a, personal relationship with them, but at least it's easier to put your finger on. In the covert narcissist, they have an extreme, smooth exterior. I mean, you cannot get them to flinch. You cannot get them to budge. They are oftentimes very stoic in nature. They're not expressing a lot of emotions. And it is the really a deficit of emotions or reactions displayed that really creates a foundation of their abuse. And you might say, well, how can such an aloofness really be abusive? Well, it's abusive in that they really sort of engage in a perpetual and chronic sort of barred up persona. Barred up meaning nothing, you can't get them to open up, you can't get them to participate, you can't get them to, kind of show some initiative. And so what happens is this tends to create a lot of anxiety on the part and a lot of effort on the part of their partner or those people in their relationship. So a lot of people might say, well, this person is like, autonomous. They're just cool, mellow, they're just kind of there. Well, it's really contrary to the case because generally they have a lot going on lurking underneath the surface. Think of, just a very smooth veneer, but yet underneath there's all sorts of feelings, judgments, and calculations going on underneath. And oftentimes this exterior tends to give off an energy of you are not worthy, you are not capable of being communicated with. In other words, I'm not giving you the courtesy of giving you a general hello. I'm not giving you the courtesy of any acknowledgement. I'm not giving you the affection that you need. I am having everything come to me as if is in a vacuum. And the aloofness and the autonomy is really inaccurate because oftentimes these people require an extreme amount of energy from people in their environment. And what happens is this causes quite a bit of anxiety and quite a bit of effort and energy such that it allows or it creates almost like a constant chronic distraction to this person's needs. And therefore, you really put a lot of yourself, your interests, and a lot of your own needs on the back burner, to the point where they get so shoved to the back burner that they never get attended to, and you end up really carrying quite a bit of weight of the relationship, and it's not very enjoyable or functional. And a lot of people find it difficult to articulate this type of abuse because it's so, well, they're not doing anything, and what do you have to point to? What kind of proof do you have? Well, the proof is in their lack of responsiveness and the lack of courtesy that they're showing. So it's a very demure sort of abuse. It's an abuse by neglect, and it's an abuse by ignoring, and it's more the condescending approach that they use to people in their environment. In other words, the piercing stare, the stoic glance, it's very deadening. And if you're around these people, it can be very, it can be very discouraging, because you almost feel like they're, this big anchor, and it becomes a very heavy energy around in your environment, and certainly not a lot of fun. And if you do plan the fun, you're going to be the one who's carrying all the responsibility. And if things don't go how they should, it's all on you. So you're taking more burden on than required, and you have to learn to draw some boundaries. And if you're in a relationship, look at pulling back some of the things that you do for them, from their laundry to their bills to making their meals to all the different sort of nurturing, caregiving thing, and just start to stop some of these activities and see if they notice. Chances are they will go unnoticed at first, but as you carry on and just maybe start plugging in some of your own interests so that you're scheduled and you're booked, you can no longer be there to satisfy their needs. And it's very interesting, because you'll probably find some interesting things start to pile up. And this is very common in especially kind of a covert psychopath, what I would call a covert psychopath. Someone who has absolutely no remorse, no guilt, especially in the female covert psychopath. They can let things like, when they've separated from their husband and, they're making the husband pay for this apartment or this house, which is completely out of their budget. And the kids are over there, they have very little visitation, or they mess up their visitation, and we can't make it, and you can't come to this and this recital with the kids, and you end up, getting very much the short end of the stick. But, then you go over there and you find you have to film things like, dishes piling up, laundry piling up, dirt and filth piling up, yet this person is living in a, $3,000 a month place. And so it's not, for lack of funds, it's for lack of neglect. It's severe and extreme apathy, which is the abuse. So it's not an outwardly expression, but it's more an expression of deficit. Peace and harmony with you here today. Going to be describing more tools on dealing with this very stealthy, very under the radar sort of abuse, so you can get it out in the open and stop the suffering and stop that cycle of chaos that's hurting you and your loved ones. Please share and subscribe to Peace and Harmony here for more great tools, videos, discussions, and support. Have a beautiful day.